Okay, so we will understand Docker. Oh God, why it's not? I'm unable to. Okay, if I. Okay, it's not working. Let me delete it from here. I can just delete it. Backspace. Is it fixed kind of? Oh God, I just want this to get delete. If I delete, it's not getting deleted. How come? I'll do one thing. I'll just delete this thing. Um, Duplicate file. No, I want from start. Okay. Oh no, I don't know how to delete it actually. Okay, finally I got the way. Just delete it. Delete entire thing. Oh, is it like this? I can't delete it. To go like this. Oh God, finally. I can delete this. Okay, go to canvas and now I'll rename this file as Docker because we want to understand there is no name. It, I can rename this new file. No, I just want this file to get renamed. Docker. Okay, Docker file. So this we will understand today. Now I can pick up that draw. So first we have to cover some kind of, I would say, point of confusions where we might get confused. One is this particular thing. Let me just highlight it. This one. Okay, no install recommends means what? This we will understand. And we will understand this also. Like this is a standard path in Linux. Okay, we'll understand this particular path. And we will also focus on this flag, no cache dir. Okay, so that our fundamentals are aligned. And we will focus on this particular path also. This is a standard path in Linux. If we are aware, then we are good. Okay, so let's start with the no install recommends flag. Okay, this particular flag. I'll start. Um, there is one lesso, something lesso. Um, I can we have like it keeps on deleting the things. Oh no, I don't want this. I just need what was there previously. I don't need this. Okay, where is my code? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Where my code went? Control Y. Oh no. Okay, fine. So let me, I think I already copied it. Okay, so this is there. Now we'll start. So let me put this particular thing this side so that this side I'll explain. We have enough space for explaining. Okay. So no install recommends this particular this one. Okay. So this particular flag, when we see this flag, what does it mean? We should be very clear. It's like nothing extra, like no install, like while we are installing, no install recommends. Recommends. So it tells Linux that install those things which I asked. What I asked here, I asked to install this particular package, build essential. So just install this particular, and if it asks for extra, then don't. Like only required packages and skip optional extras. Okay, so we can say required packages only, and skip all the, like we used to have optional extras, right? So skip all the optional extras. So this is the meaning. Or we can relate it to analogy here. Um, let's say we ask for burger, right? And with burger you get fries or coke. So these are the extra thing. But if you give a strict instruction that I want only burger, that is what is the intent here. And why we are using this no install recommends flag? Because we want our images small, right? We want to avoid unnecessary packages, and it will also ultimately improve the security. When we have the limited packages, limited, I will say limited or needed, which is needed to run, which is needed for our environment to run. So there is less security vulnerability. Okay, like in CI/CD, what we do, we just install the required dependencies, right? Like because we are familiar with CI/CD, right? In day to day, uh, I would say task we come across CI/CD, right? So what we do, we just focus on the required dependencies, right? We always avoid if there is any I would say optional thing is there, we avoid it so that the size is less. And if we'll understand in MLOps, right? So in machine learning operation, what happens? Only runtime libraries, like when we are, there are a lot of libraries. So in training, we need a lot of dependencies, but the dependencies which we need in training, that we will not have in runtime, right? In runtime, we'll be having only dependencies which are required to serve the model. Okay, so that is how we understand. Now, there is this particular thing. This we have to, I'm just highlighting this particular thing here. Var lib apt list. So in Linux, um, let me delete this in one go if I can delete it. Oh no. Okay, if I'll use the eraser in one go, can I do? Can I remove it in one go? No. Oh, there is no fast way to remove this. I wanted something very quick. This will take a lot of time, right? To remove and then to explain. Or what I will do, leave it. I'll use a box, and inside box I will use a pen so that I can directly delete a box, right? Let's try this time. If it works, I'll just pick up a box here, this box. I'll focus that inside this box I will use this content so that hmm, okay, yeah, it's working. Okay. So this time we are focusing on this particular path. This path slash var slash lib slash apt slash list slash star. So this path is a standard path in Linux. Standard path in Linux. Why this path is important to understand? Because this folder, it's a kind of folder, right? List. So it has what? It has all the available packages from the internet. It will contain all available packages available packages from internet. It's a kind of menu it will have. Let's say if we need X package, then it will check in this list and then it will start installing. So it's a kind of catalog. It's a temporary list of packages downloading during this particular. You see this apt-get update. So this apt-get update is to update the packages. Like all the available packages will come into this particular folder, list folder. And from there, when we install, so it will get installed from this refreshed package list. Okay. So let's say um, you have list of um, let's say there are list of toys, right? So you wanted to buy this particular toy. So once you like bought this particular toy, then you don't need this. catalog, right? You can discard this catalog because you just bought this particular toy which in which you are interested. Same way, it is like, okay, we have updated the packages from the internet, and then we are deleting the menu so that the size is less. Okay, so this is kind of temporary package list we have. And why this is important? So importance we have understood, right? Importance is the small size would be small, and it would be clean also. Like there would be no um, list of packages, right, which we don't need. So we have just cleaned the space to reduce the image size. Because if we won't delete this particular, so what will happen? Image becomes heavy and the deployment will become slower. And if we'll delete, like we are using this particular, so what it is happen, what this is doing, this is um, the size is becoming light from heavy, and also the deployments are faster, right? So this is kind of a catalog we have understood now. This is a catalog, and this is the required whereas this particular is the required, I would say, tool which we want from this package, and then we are throwing away the catalog. This is to throw away, right? So just download. This is downloading, and then installing. Here we're installing. Here we are downloading. Here we are installing, and here we are cleaning. So this is we have understood, like from the dependency list, we are downloading, then we are installing the tool, and then we are deleting the temporary files or folders. Only what is needed in the production that we will keep. And in MLOps also, if in machine learning we'll understand it. So what we do, we download data set metadata, right? Metadata is a information about data. So then we train the model, and then after training the model, we delete the temporary files which are not required, unnecessary data we will not carry into the production, right? So this part we have understood properly now. We will not forget like what we have to follow while downloading or installing any package, right? Now I have to make you understand other things also, right? Because this is one time activity. If we have understood one time like properly, then this is repetition. Like in everyday job, we write same thing, only you can say few things changed as per the requirement. The structure remains same. So if you will see, there is one this particular thing, right? This particular flag, no cache dir. But before this, let me delete it. If in one go I can delete it. Oh no, how to delete it? Let me go here. I select here and I just delete it. No. Okay, I can delete in one go. It's cool. This feature is cool actually. Then using I can delete in one go. Just okay. Like when I click here, it will. Oh no. If I just delete it. Deleted. Okay, this is clean now. Now we'll understand this particular thing. No cache dir. This, um, let me use one thing here. Let me highlight it with this. It's like focused. Now we'll understand this. What is no cache, no cache, cache dir? Okay, so this no cache dir. Oh my God, this is creating a blunder. Okay, should I use this heavy? Okay, so when we have this, it is like no cache dir means what? Don't store extra temporary files after installing. So this is run. This is um, a structure of the Docker file. We have run if we have to run some commands. Pip install no cache dir this requirements.txt. So in requirement.txt, we have the list of dependencies that we need for this particular source code to run, right? If we are using this no cache dir flag, that means we are telling this particular Linux system that don't store extra temporary files after installing. Because generally what happens when a package is getting installed, so some temporary files used to get installed, right? Like if you're installing something, then here we saw, right? Like this is a standard path where the catalog gets updated when we run this particular thing. No install recommends, it's like don't install unnecessary thing. It's like after installing also, if there are unnecessary temporary files after installing, just don't store them. So it is like install packages without saving cache. So it will not save the cache. There would be no cache after install. Like if we want to break it down a simplest way, let's say I'm eating a chocolate. So there is a wrapper on the chocolate. So after eating the chocolate, what I will do, I'll throw the wrapper. So it is the same way. After installing the required list of packages, I will throw the wrapper. I will throw the temporary files which are not useful. So what it does, it save a space in the Docker image, right? The space is getting saved. Image is lighter, correct? And the deployments are faster. So, like not storing, let's say if we are running, like we don't store logs, right? If we don't need in CI/CD, let's say in DevOps, what happens? There are logs. If so, logs are getting stored. If we don't need those logs, so we don't store those logs, right? In CI/CD, we will not store those logs. And in MLOps, what happens? Like training thing is there. In machine learning, everything is about training the data, right? So we have a lot of temporary training files after the model is getting trained. So we don't store those training files which are unnecessary. Now, this particular part we have understood. So it is best way to use it if we don't need temporary file after installing the required packages. Okay. Now, there is one more thing, this particular. I wanted like few things to be clear before we everything rest things are very easy. If basics are clear, then there is no okay. This thing we'll understand. Okay. So this particular thing slash user slash local. This is also a standard path in Linux path. So we should have a basic understanding while we are working with Linux, like there are some standard paths. Okay, so this path is basically a default folder, we can say. Standard path means this is a default folder. This is a default folder. What this folder have, this have all the installed programs or the packages, all the packages that we install that goes to this particular folder local. Okay, so if we have any tool which we have installed, if that tool is inside this local, so by default Linux will check into this particular folder. So it's like a dedicated shelf we have for books, right? Let's say there is a small shelf we have dedicated for books, right? So it is easy to keep books or to retrieve books from there. Similar way, it's we have to understand like this is the path so that Linux would be able to find the packages or the tool which is required for this app to run. So this we have understood. And like in DevOps also we know, right? That is like build artifacts. Build artifacts means we are building image, right? So when we are building image, so there is a standard folder, deployment folder. We are updating that particular artifact into the standard deployment folder, right? Like this is a, I would say, practice which we follow, right? And similar way, Linux also have this particular default folder. And if we understand it with machine learning operations, so in machine learning operations, we have artifacts, right? Like the model, we store it in registry, right? So it is like that only. Now we have understood this, and there is this particular thing. This part also, we have to understand what is this Uvicorn, right? Let's understand this. So Uvicorn is a kind of, I would say, server. Let me take a pencil. So this Uvicorn is a engine or server you can say. So it is like used to um, run fast API. Okay, because if we have to run an API, so we need some kind of server, some kind of engine that will run. So this why we like use this, right? So we can understand it. Let's say there is a shop and there is a shopkeeper. Keeper. Shopkeeper is the point of contact which will be interacting with the customer, right? And giving them the response. That is the fast API. And the shop, this is Uvicorn. Because this is only opening the, I would say, point of contact with the customer. Like if you will see here, so this is app.main, right? So this particular, go to here, find this, okay, and run it. This is what it is doing. Like in DevOps, what we do, we have Nginx, right? Why we use Nginx? Talk to the customer. But how customer will access our website, right? That is through Nginx. Same way in machine learning, what we have inference, right? How customer will access our model through inference, right? This is what we have to relate to understand it. So this fast API is what? This is just a tool, right? Tool inside Python. Okay. And this tool is doing what? This is creating an API. Creating an API. Okay. Something happened here. API. Hmm. Oh no, why it's moving? Can I scroll it down? Okay. So fast API is kind of menu card. So if I write here fast API, oh no, what is this? Why it's not working? Let me go here. Just use this and this fast API. Let me refresh this page. Make it 100%. Okay. And just eh, delete it. Have this here. Now I can explain it. Hmm. So we need to understand it so that we won't forget it. Let's say a model is being developed. Let me use this color. Model is being developed, right? So this model needs an endpoint to access. That endpoint is equal to API, like slash app or something. Like we have to give that, like how we can access. And there would be some response. What would be the response? Once this is being accessed, so what would be the response? That's a kind of, it's a card like what you can order. So it's like we have slash app, we have slash backend, or like there are n number of like in microservices we have seen in DevOps there are microservices, right? We deploy. So those microservices are accessed on a particular path. So that is like what you can order. There are n number of microservices, and what the response you get that we have that we define in API while we develop an API to access that app. So this is we understood properly. Um, Very basic, like how we can develop API that we know. Like this is just a Python package. So we'll just import that particular package, and we will like that particular, I would say, method will store in an object, and then on that particular, I would say, object we with a decorator function. We will not modify this, the original one, but on the top of this, we will enhance it. Like we'll use get method on, let's say, slash I want to access this, or maybe slash app I want to access, like that. And then for the response, I'll be, defining some function here. Let's say response function I'm just writing, and I'm returning something here. So that's like how we develop an API. And in MLOps, what happens? We have like post. If we have to send some, we have like slash predict. So on this particular slash predict, there would be a response. Like the user will access slash predict, and then we'll send that, uh, I would say, inference to this particular path once the input is given. It's like what to serve, and Unicorn is a server which is actually survey like server, and um, this is like what we are serving with that server. And this particular thing is the where we have all the installed, I would say, programs. So now we have understood it clearly, right? And why we use this no cache dir, that we have also understood, so that we don't have any temporary files after installation. Okay, so these are few things which I wanted to explain separately before going to explain the Docker file from start. Okay, so now it is very easy. Like if you'll understand our Docker file, so it's very easy now. It's like very super simple if we have to understand. Let me scroll it up. Yeah, this. From here we'll understand it. So here we have this. This is what? This is like a you can say small ready-made box is this. This is just there are like various boxes we can use. Like there are different kind of boxes for different requirements. For different requirement. Here we are using this particular box. We'll understand it, and this is okay. And then this particular. and we are calling it as builder. We are just giving a naming it as this. So this is a small Python environment, right? And we have given a name. So this is a Python environment, and we have also given a name to this environment. And it's like, there's a small kitchen, and we have just given a name to that. This is a cooking room, like this label we have given. Now you see this work dir app. So this is like do all the work inside this particular folder. Whatever we will do, like after getting this particular space, whatever we will do inside this particular folder. So this is like we have been told, like, you have to play inside this particular room only. Now we have this run, right? So it's like install the tools that is needed. Like we need compilers, build essentials, we have compilers, right? It's like bringing, if you'll understand, like knife, utensils, because we need tools to build this particular app. And this is like to cleaning, to do the cleaning, which is not needed, to save the space. Unnecessary cache files are there. It's like throwing away the, I would say, vegetable waste. Like understand it with the kitchen setup because we relate it very often. So it's like kitchen waste. Let's say we peeled off the vegetables, then what we will do? We will throw all the waste in the garbage and we'll use uh, the useful vegetables which we will use in our food, right? Uh, and the peels and everything will be thrown away. Now there is a recipe also. So you see here copy requirements.txt. So it is like we have to copy this particular recipe. Inside this requirement.txt, we have the list of packages, okay, which is needed. So that all are being here inside this file. So we are copying this particular recipe file, we can say, and we're installing this particular thing here. Dot means in the current folder. And if you will see here in the, let me scroll it. Yeah. So we are running here. It's like pip install this particular, after copying, then we are running to install all the required dependencies. So in this particular folder, we are keeping all the packages and we are, you can say, deleting all the cache um, files and folders after installing. So that, you know, to, yeah, this is just for the separation, I would say, for separation, like we're using a dedicated folder. And so till here, what we have all the requirement which we have. Now again, we are using a fresh box. This is fresh, right? And we have defined like this is a room in which we have to work, right? Then we are copying everything what we have installed cleanly into this install folder, this install, and this install we are mapping it to user local, so that this particular Python Linux system would be able to find all the packages which is being installed from here. Okay, and apart from this, if you'll see here what we are doing, we are copying. Yeah, so this is the folder, right? This is this into this dot slash app, and then we have to so here we have our code, right? So all the dependencies we're copying into the folder where we have our code. And now I want a door to talk, right? So how the customer will talk? They will talk on this particular port number. This is a kind of door to talk. So it's like, opening a shop door for the customer. And now you'll see this is a server. Inside this server, this is our application. And for this, where we can access, this is IP, and this is the port which we have exposed. Like in machine learning, what we do, we do the model training, and then it's like training and then serving, training and then serving. So this is all about this particular Docker file. So this is like very common um, Docker file, and only few things keeps on changing as per the requirement. So it's all about this, writing the Docker file.